Hello, how you going? I can't believe it's been another week already, and I'm pretty excited to talk to you today about today's topic, which is how to get comfortable with just being you. Now, I don't think that's the exact title that I gave it, but that's what I want to give you some tips around today. How do we just get comfortable with being ourselves? And so I guess why I want to share this is because a few things came up for me personally this week, and it's what had me realize, this is an area of struggle for many of us. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was my own personal fears and how I actually overcame those. So I want to ask you, have you ever experienced the following? Did you ever grow up feeling that you just weren't quite good enough? Perhaps you felt like didn't matter what, feel like you fitted in, or worse, didn't feel loved. Did you lack a whole lot of self-confidence? For me, the two main ones were probably that I just battled with this constant feeling of never being enough, never doing enough. Also had the fear of never wanting to get things wrong, never wanting to upset people. And in reflection, I really lacked a whole lot of self-confidence. So I thought we could just explore, how did I overcome that? Now, personal development has been absolutely key to that. And without it, I definitely can assure you I would not be doing these lives. I'd be living a very, very different life right now, and probably one that's not so fulfilled, one full of wishing and dreaming and never taking any action. So I've got some notes down here that I'm going to go through, if that's okay with you, because I really was so. In reflection, fear was the main issue for me. It was the fear of man, the fear of not being good enough to another person. And through this personal development journey that I've been on, I literally can say I've won many battles. However, there's a whole lot more battles ahead for me as I choose to expand my reach. I choose to do things imperfectly, and basically just get committed to giving it a go and just serving you in whatever way I possibly can. So how did I develop this new confidence and the kind of self-esteem where I can have this conversation with you here on a live, basically talking to my phone in an empty room? How do I do that? And how do I do it in a way that has you feel like I'm talking directly to you? So there were two things that held me back over those years. And like I said, the first one was the fear of man. And as I embarked on this journey as a coach and starting my practice and, playing with new tools, there was all these fears that would pop up. And I would think of the most random people and sit back down. So I'd get my confidence up and I'd go, okay, I can do this, I'm going to do this. Yep, I believe in you, Kelly. Like, I do all this self. I think of school when I was 15 years old. And I'm like, she's on Facebook out there, that if I put this video out there, she could potentially see that. Now I'm just going to check that this is being recorded because I can't really see how long I've been going for. So anyway, I trust it's all working fine. Doing it imperfectly, right? And so I sat back down and didn't do my video. Actually, no, you know what? It started with just doing a post, a textbook post, sorry, a texting post. I was like, but what if she reads it? And what if she says it's rubbish? And I went, no, I'm not doing it. like out of all my friends, this one person's going to see it. So I didn't do it. Then I got a bit more confidence back and I decided, oh, I can do it today. I psyched myself up and I did a post. But this time I didn't consider this friend. So I was starting to do more posts and things, and then something popped up and I wanted to talk about this particular thing through Facebook. And then you wouldn't believe it. A girl from primary school popped into my head. And I now remember an incident where I had I'd written this play about a circus and I was so excited. And she said, she snatched it out of my hands and she said, let me read your script for your circus. I think I was like 8. And so I happily let her snatch it and take it and have a look. She quickly glanced over it and she just looked at me and she said, that's rubbish, like totally rubbish, and screwed it up and threw it on the ground. And so here, as a grown adult, I'm about to do something new, and this image of somebody from primary school when I was 8 pops into my head, and so I sat back down again. So there's 3 things that I really have done in the last little while that has helped me to develop self-confidence, self-esteem, and courage, really, to do the things that I'm doing. And so the first one was I shifted my focus. I stopped focusing on what I didn't want to happen, what I did want to happen, right? So that was the first mindset shift for me, that allowed me to, start doing things alive or going out and speaking in front of people. I really started to make it about the people. The second thing I did was I got really clear on what is my message? What is my story? What is it that I'm out to achieve? Because I am not an expert in every single thing. In fact, I'm not even a role model for everything out there. However, I am a bit of an expert in, because I've been doing it for quite a long time now. So I can sit myself in that expert seat in this area of my life. However, I'm not going to be an expert as an Olympic skier. I've never even skied a day in my life. That's ridiculous. The other way I decided to position myself was more as somebody, and this is where I got super comfortable, because all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not an expert in this, and I'm not an expert, and I haven't got a handle of this, and how can I talk about this, and how can I talk about that? But I also knew I had a whole lot of knowledge. I have read so many books. I have watched so much training, attended so many courses. Some things, like I said, I have applied and become, and other things, I just know if I can share those things with you and you and I together apply those things, we can both get great results. Now, I may be a few steps ahead of you, and that's really all you require, is for me to just be a few steps ahead. So I've now started to position myself as more as a bit of a reporter. I do a lot of research, and now I kind of report on my findings. And so that qualifies me to be able to, what's the third thing? So I got clear on who I was and what my focus was. What I wanted my message to be is what really helped me, because I stopped trying to be something that I just wasn't, right? I just decided, what, I'm good at this, and I'm just going to speak on the things that I'm really. I also let go of the fear of getting it wrong, because really, I often talk about there's no such thing as failure, only feedback. And some things I'll do really well, and some things I won't do really well. Yet that's feedback to me to go, okay, well, this works, so I'll keep doing this. This didn't work, so I will perhaps tweak it and try something different. What else have I got here? Yeah, so I certainly embraced, and for those who know Brene Brown, I embraced that it's okay to be imperfect, to do things imperfectly. I may have a little bit more confidence to do this now, but I've done an awful lot of speaking up until now to be able to do this. So I just want to finish on this. There's two before I go to that, when I talked to you briefly about focus and how I decided to focus on what it was that I wanted, the other thing that really held me back was, like I said, the fear of man. And when I'm honest, I could probably say on five fingers people that if I came across them, I'd be a little bit flustered, right? Because they're in the room and I'd want to process that they're in the room and I'd want to make a shift and be able to move on. I have a choice. I can keep focusing on the people that aren't going to like me, who are going to criticize me, who will judge me, who won't like what I share, or maybe even won't believe what I share. I can focus on those few people and do nothing. And then you don't get any of these conversations from me. Or I can choose to focus on you and make it all about you and support you. And then all of a sudden there's a real excitement and an enthusiasm. And when I'm focusing on you, someone who values what I have to say, who gets encouraged by what I have to say, all of a sudden I don't actually care what those few people think about me. And so that has been a real shift for me. I know who I am talking to, and those who don't like me, they don't have to stay. They don't have to listen. You know, they can just press that button and switch me off. However, I choose to focus on people who consistently share with me how I've been able to help them and encourage them. So two things. Do you like my new jumper? I thought I'd put it on for you today. It's my new thing. I often talk about this, and I'm going to finish on this, that we have two choices to make in any given moment when we feel a little bit nervous or worried or concerned about something. We can be fear, we can let fear be the kind of thoughts that we think, or we can have faithful thinking. So there's fear-based thinking and there's faith-filled thinking. The choice is yours. Do you actually even know what the definition of fear is? And there's acronyms, you know, false evidence appearing real. However, the definition that I like to talk to clients about is this one. The definition of fear is believing, and you might want to write this one down. Definition of fear is believing in something that hasn't even happened yet. Right? I'll say that again. Definition of fear is believing in something that hasn't even happened yet. Now think of where you've done that in your life. You've been so worried and concerned about something and it hasn't even happened yet, has it? You know, we get an opportunity to speak or do something or step out of our comfort zone. And what's going on up here? Oh my gosh, what will they think about this? Oh, what if I do this? What if I do that? It hasn't even happened. Hasn't even happened. Yet here you are getting, right? So that is fear. Not like that kind of thinking will never serve you, ever. So this is what I want you to know in those unfamiliar moments, to have fearful thoughts, or you can have faith-filled thoughts. Do you know what the definition of faith is? Listen to this. Definition of faith is believing in something. You want to finish it off? Believing in something that hasn't happened yet. Amazing, isn't it? So they both have the exact same definition. Fear is believing in something that hasn't happened yet. Faith is believing in something that hasn't happened yet. You've had those faith. I'm going to rock this. I can do this. It's all going to turn out just like this. And then I'm going to do that. And then this is going to happen. Can I just tell you, none of that had even happened. So see, in those moments, it becomes And that's how I've gotten really comfortable with just being myself. When I have those out of comfort zone moments where in the past I would be terrified, and that's for another story, absolutely terrified, gripped with fear, I now choose to not have fear-based thinking happening in that moment, but I choose faith-based thinking. Now, does that mean I don't have fear-based thoughts at all? Oh, no. I have them all the time. I'm still having them right now. And I'm working, as you may have heard, levels comes new devils. So the fears that I used to have 10 years ago don't even exist now. They don't even think about them. But now, as I'm learning to expand and grow my presence out there in social media land, that terrifies me. But moments when it counts, I choose to own it, and the people that value me, appreciate me, enjoy what I share and teach, and that resonates with you, they're the people that I think about, and that's what motivates me every day. So I trust that that's helpful, and I want you to, you'll notice all my teaching is very applicable. And so if you what I share, put that into practice, right? You can do that in your family, you can do that in your parenting, you can do that in relationships, in your workplace, in your businesses. And I would love for you to share with us when you have done that and what you learned from that. So just want to say thanks for watching. I was a little bit nervous this morning. I nearly didn't even get on because I'm like, I don't really know what I want to say exactly. I haven't perfected it. And just went, no, that's the whole reason why I got on today. I wanted to encourage you on being comfortable with just being your real self, and to finish it up, you just focus on that do like you, that do trust you. And actually, one more thing. I started doing my posts, and remember I gave you the example of school popped into my, I couldn't even just write a post. I went to Bunnings one day and I ran into a girl that I hadn't seen since high school in year 12. And she said, Kel, maybe I have said this to you before, Kel, can I just say your Facebook posts have been life-changing for me? I nearly fell over. I nearly absolutely fell over. And I did. I leant in and I said, really? Know that you saw, because she never commented, right? And so that's when, for that little season, every time I wrote something, I imagined I was writing just to this particular lady. And then the rest didn't even matter. So ladies, this is your challenge this week. I want you to get comfortable in your own skin. All right, I want you to know you are enough. And when you can have faith-filled thoughts, everything changes, right? It really does. To happen, and our thinking impacts us how we feel. It's just a no-brainer. You don't go filling your brain. So make up a story that actually works for you. So, all right, I have no idea how long this is. Trusting it has recorded, because it does look like some people have been watching, and trust you got encouraged today. And yeah, I'd really love for you to make a comment that just does encourage me as well. All right, bye ladies, have a great rest of the week.